What's up, everybody? Welcome to a beat breakdown where I'm going to break down beats that I've already made that are already out that you can already go listen to with dope artists that are already streaming all over in every platform on Spotify and iTunes and all the great places. Today, we'll be breaking down Stay On by Chore featuring Eshé and Anova.
Torchlight if you come home, long night till the sun rose on top of an unknown. I'ma stay on, flashlight in a back cave, sound surfing on that wave. I want it that way. Better stay on, torchlight if you come.
Let's dive into this thing. So here is the song. So this is all based on one sample, and that is a sample from a song that I very much enjoy. Let me see if I hit it. I did. Here it is, like I always do. It is a song called The Candles Fire by a band named Beirut. If you've never heard of them, check them out. They're super nerdy and hipster and dope. This is that sample. I only hear the beat now. Oh man, this already had stuff on it. Okay, great. Cool, so as you can see, that's the main sample we're working with, and here's the version I have that is all chopped up, and it sounds like this. Just we're a little faster. We have some crazy EQ on there, just mainly to get rid of all those lows and other things. And then we have this sound shifter, because as you can see, we were the tiniest bit not perfectly in tune with whatever I'm using in my instrument, so I shifted us in. Audio, I like having it here like this, so you can manipulate it and chop it up and do all these fun little chops. But that is the main sample we're working with. I basically just chopped it up, found where the chords were, as you can hear if we turn our click on. Yeah, so those chops obviously help us give it a little bit of time. And then once I have it lined up, I love taking samples that feel like they're in this double time. Because that's how the original song goes. And then taking that and giving our song a halftime feel. But let me show you the other part of the sample I used, and that is from the very end. Okay, here we are. Here's the very end of the song. That's it. I just really like those drums. It's the only time in the entire song we get cool isolated drums. When I hear isolated instruments in songs, when I'm listening to them, my mind just immediately goes sample, 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 sample. So I was like, let's use those drums. And my favorite part about these drums is that first hit, you can hear the echo and the reverb of the horn. So when we get, what we get is this in our finished track. You can see I've gone in and I've chopped up all of this drum part and I've made it fit into my grid where I want it to. And I'm someone who just does that by going through, hearing the rhythm I want to make in my head, and I find the waveform I know will do that and line it up. So you can see that these tiny little small ones are that hi-hat closing on 2 and 4, and that you can hear those horns lay over. It's just so nice. So together we have those two elements. And then the other part that I've added from the sample is this, which is just the same sample. There's no cuts and no fun jazzy stuff happening. It's just the chords, and I've EQ'd tons of it out, tons of that top out, so we just get the low sort of chord sounds, just to fill out the mids and the lows of our beat. And the other thing I did is throw a sample delay on it. We're just slowing down one of the two ears, and that's gives us this great stereo effect. Cool, so that is all of our sample working with. Let's check out what else is going on in this beat. We also have some keys going on. So these are just Lounge Lizard. I can show you which exact instrument I'm using within Lounge Lizard. It looks like I'm using a Rhodes, and then I typically will go in and actually edit the instrument and change some of the settings in here based on what I want. Obviously, this is a pretty tinny sound because I didn't need any of those lows. That accomplished with the 808 and that low sample we're using. So this is really just to help reinforce the harmony. That plus our 808, I like to keep my 808 as part of my kick and part of my drums, but it is the only other pitched element of something we should have going on in here. So if you hear those together, so this is our 3 samples and those keys. All right, let's dive into some of these drums. So we have, obviously we have a main kick, and we have that 808, and I know for this 808 we have this trap bass. There's 0 glide on this 808. I wanted the pitch to make sure it's staying with the chord rather than finding its way there slowly over the beat. We also have the sustain is all the way down. Our delay came down from where it was. This is where it would have started, right? And we come down to where we were. If I compare that, we'll go back. And our release, I brought down a little bit too. That way, so when we add our kick into this, we get the bass lasts, but doesn't last too long, right? Aside from that, we have our snare and we have a rim happening. So we have the transient on here. It's a free plugin that I like. It gets rid of some of that sustain. You can hear that there's a lot of reverb on this. So we pulled some of that off. Just wanted it kind of dry. And then we also have a snare, which is just a pretty dry snare. Same transient. We're pulling some of the, just to keep it nice and tight. And you can see the EQ on this one, so you can get an idea. Together those, we add our kick back in and our trap bass back in. I know we also have a snare here that there's a ton of EQ on. So you can see this is the EQ I have going on a secondary snare that's doing some other fills. I really like that. That cut all those highs out and give us that low mid-range, very muted snare sound. And we also have a hi-hat, and I know we have rides on this guy. Just really helps fill out the sound. There's all our drums, and let's take a listen to the whole beat together. That is it. I know for the verses, I went back and forth between using that main sample and using sample with the high cut totally on it. So we're getting most of the lows and the mids. The drums have totally changed. This the drum sample, we're just using that first hit. Lots of slowdowns that are pitch downs. Just let the sample work with those drums. Like I said, that double time with the halftime feel. That is the song. Thank you guys so much for hanging out here at a beat breakdown. Let me know what you think with the like button. Let me know what you want to see next with the comments. And as always, subscribe so you never miss a beat.